Someone has been carrying the same idea for years: a business, a book, a song, a career change, a person they want to become. Inside their mind, it works. They can see what it could become, so they research it, refine it, wait for more confidence, more time, a better moment. And somehow, the dream keeps improving, while real life barely moves. Maybe the delay is not protecting the dream from failure. Maybe it is protecting the dream from reality. Because potential has one advantage reality never will: it has never been tested. The imagined business has never lost money. The unwritten book has never been criticized. The future version of the person has never failed in public. From the outside, this can look like procrastination. From the inside, it can feel like preparation, like protecting something important until it is ready. But if preparation keeps the dream permanently away from reality, what exactly is being protected? And that creates the Wysometric question: when does potential stop being possibility and become a hiding place? A person who never applies for the position can keep believing they would have been perfect for it. Someone who never approaches the person they like never has to hear no. Someone who keeps planning the transformation never has to discover how difficult the transformation actually is. As long as the future stays imaginary, almost anything is still possible. The person can still be brilliant, still be undiscovered, still be misunderstood, still be one opportunity away, still be capable of something extraordinary. Nothing has disproved it, and that can feel surprisingly comforting, because there is a big psychological difference between being someone who could do something extraordinary and becoming someone who is currently doing something ordinary, badly, while learning. One identity feels special, the other feels vulnerable. It happens in small moments. A writer keeps rewriting the opening paragraph, not because the paragraph is terrible, because finishing it brings the story one step closer to being judged. A person keeps researching a career change, another certification, another podcast, another comparison, but the application remains unfinished. Someone creates the perfect fitness plan every few months: new exercises, new meals, new targets. Monday keeps moving. A person feels something real for someone else. They study every signal, every possibility, every reason it could work, but they never make themselves vulnerable enough to find out. And a creator has an idea sitting on a hard drive. The video gets revised, the song gets remixed, the business gets renamed, the logo gets redesigned. Everything moves, except the launch button. Each situation looks different, but underneath them may be the same bargain. As long as the test never happens, the potential survives. Imagine an artist who believes there is something special inside them. They have felt it for years. Sometimes they hear the finished song before it exists. Sometimes they imagine people hearing it, connecting with it, sharing it, maybe even saying that someone finally made something different. That imagined future becomes meaningful, and slowly, the dream stops being only something the artist wants to create. It becomes evidence about who the artist believes they are: creative, different, capable, maybe even exceptional. Now, releasing the song carries a different kind of risk. If nobody listens, the result does not only feel like information about a song, it can feel like information about the person. So another version gets made, and another, and another. The song remains unfinished, but so does the verdict. The imagined artist remains undefeated. This is the strange safety of potential. Nothing has gone wrong, because nothing has fully happened. Procrastination is often described as a problem with time management, but sometimes time is not the real problem. Emotion is. A difficult action can create anxiety, uncertainty, shame, fear of rejection, fear of discovering limitations. Avoiding the action temporarily removes those feelings. So the brain learns something simple: not doing it feels better right now. There is also a related idea in psychology called self-handicapping. Sometimes people create distance between themselves and a real test of their ability. Because a clean test creates a clean answer, and clean answers can threaten an identity. If someone genuinely tries and fails, there is less room for the comforting explanation that they simply never tried. So delay can preserve ambiguity, and ambiguity protects potential. This does not mean every unfinished project is hidden fear. Sometimes people are exhausted. Sometimes priorities change. Sometimes more preparation really is necessary. But there is a useful test. If the preparation keeps increasing, while exposure to reality keeps decreasing, the preparation may no longer be preparation. It may be protection. This is where the INFP lens becomes interesting. INFPs are often described as idealistic, imaginative, introspective, values-driven, and deeply interested in possibility. Those traits can create extraordinary art, unusual ideas, deep relationships, lives built around meaning instead of convention. The problem is not imagination. The problem begins when imagination becomes safer than participation. A strong internal world can produce an incredibly detailed picture of what something should feel like. The right career, the right relationship, the right creative work, the right version of the self. And when reality fails to match that internal picture immediately, reality can feel disappointing, too ordinary, too compromised, too messy. The shadow is not that the dream is unrealistic. The shadow is the possibility that the person has become emotionally attached to the untested version of themselves inside the dream. The future self is pure. The future self has not made embarrassing mistakes. The future self has not been rejected. The future self has not discovered where talent ends and practice must begin. That version stays perfect, because that version has never had to live. Now the cylinder turns. From one angle, a person sees the circle, the dream, possibility, meaning, everything that could exist. From that perspective, protecting the dream makes sense. Something valuable deserves care. But from the other angle is the rectangle. Reality, action, feedback, results. From that perspective, years of possibility can look exactly like years of standing still. Neither perspective tells the whole truth, because potential matters. Without imagination, nothing new begins. But potential cannot become a life by remaining potential. The full cylinder contains both. Imagination creates direction, reality creates information. And information is what the protected dream has been missing. Reality may say the first attempt is not good enough. That is information. Reality may say the business idea needs work. Information. The relationship is not mutual. Information. The body changes slower than expected. Information. The first 100 people ignore the work. Information. Reality does something fantasy never can. It answers back. And that means the thing a person has been protecting themselves from may also be the only thing capable of showing them what to do next. The goal was never to destroy the dream. It was to let reality participate in building it. Because there are two ways for a dream to remain perfect. It can succeed, or it can never be tested. Only one of those creates a life. So the answer is not to stop dreaming, it is to change what counts as progress. The writer stops trying to prove they are a writer. They finish one imperfect page and let another human being read it. The career changer stops collecting proof that another life might be possible. They send one real application. The person planning the transformation stops redesigning the entire year. They complete today's workout. The person imagining the relationship stops trying to solve another human being inside their head. They create one honest opportunity for reality to answer. And the creator stops protecting the project from an audience. They publish the version that exists today. Same 5 situations. One change. Evidence replaces identity. The question is no longer whether someone is talented enough, ready enough, special enough, confident enough. The question becomes smaller. What piece of reality can exist by tomorrow that does not exist today? A useful framework for this is WOOP, wish, outcome, obstacle, plan. A person takes one important unfinished goal. First, the wish. What is the real thing they want? Then the outcome. What would change if it became real? Then the obstacle. What inside them keeps preparation safer than exposure? And finally, the plan. What small action would let reality answer? One page, one application, one workout, one honest action, one published piece. The official WOOP exercise is linked below. The point is not to prove the dream. It is to stop protecting it from information. Potential is beautiful. That is exactly why it can become dangerous. It lets a person visit a future without having to enter it. The finished book, the transformed body, the meaningful career, the work that finally matters. Ahead is a beautiful door showing everything that could be, bright, perfect, untouched. And beside it is an unfinished staircase, concrete, dark, uneven. The staircase offers no guarantee, only a first step. The door feels more inspiring, but the door is a projection. The staircase is real. And eventually, a person has to choose what kind of identity they want to protect. The person who could become extraordinary, or the person willing to look ordinary while becoming better. Potential can remain perfect forever inside the mind. Nothing can criticize it there. Nothing can reject it. Nothing can prove it wrong. But nothing can live it there either. So the final Wysometric question is not whether the dream is ready. It is, what stays safe by keeping it unreal? Because potential was never meant to become a home. It was meant to point somewhere, toward the imperfect page, the uncomfortable answer, the real attempt, toward the staircase. And eventually, one step has to become real.